Yo, what's up, guys? I just got done watching the Bulls make a huge comeback and beat the Boston Celtics. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about that game, some potential trade rumors, and some free agents that the Chicago Bulls might sign or might be looking into to help out the Patrick Williams injury. But nonetheless, leave a quick like on today's video for last night's huge comeback win. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about last night's W and all the topics I'm going to talk about. But nonetheless, the Chicago Bulls are 6-1. The Chicago Bulls currently have the best record in the NBA as the time I'm recording and editing this video. I'm going to be honest, this game was pretty ugly. It was pretty sloppy. To start out the game, it was pretty much just a shootout. The Bulls started out really hot, and then Jaylen Brown kind of took over. The Chicago Bulls finally locked in the fourth quarter, and they just played a perfect fourth quarter. They outscored the Boston Celtics 39-11. DeMar DeRozan was pretty much carrying this Chicago Bulls offense the whole night. Huge shout out to DeMar. I still can't believe NBA executives and fans kept just hating on the whole fit situation, the whole contract situation, and executives even voted him the worst free agent signing of this offseason. I still can't believe that. Huge shout out to DeMar. He's been carrying us, especially with Zach kind of been dealing and playing through an injury. DeMar had a big 37-7. Vuce had an almost triple-double. Zach did play much better in the second half of the game. He finished with 26, 7, and 3. And let me just say, huge shout out to the bench mob. They pretty much got the Chicago Bulls back into this game and won the game for the Chicago Bulls. Caruso played amazing. Huge shout out to Dosunmu. He had a career high 14 points off the Bulls bench. I believe he shot 6 of 6 or 7 of 7. He played an amazing game. And as the games go by, it's looking like the Chicago Bulls got a steal out of the second round. When the Bulls drafted him, I said the Bulls drafted a first round talent in the second round. I'm loving his hustle, his defense. I believe he really sparked this whole comeback. Huge shout out to Tony Bradley. He's been playing amazing. I'm surprised he only played 13 minutes off the bench. He was playing really good, getting rebounds, blocking shots, and just playing great help defense. He definitely deserves more minutes. Same with Derrick Jones Jr. He played 21 minutes off the Bulls bench. He had a few steals. He had a nice lob. He had 9 points and 4 rebounds. Some really good defense on Brown and Tatum as well. Huge shout out to the bench mob. I'm really happy with this W. The Chicago Bulls are 6-1. This season's fun. The Chicago Bulls are finally back. This team is very different than last year. I'm very excited. Definitely leave some comments and questions talking about last night's game below today's video. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into the news and rumors that have been going around. Ever since the Patrick Williams injury, I've seen a lot of Bulls writers on Twitter and just Bulls fans talk about the Bulls maybe trading for a power forward or signing a power forward or center on the free agent market. And huge shout out to Mark. He was talking about this whole situation. He said in the short term, the Chicago Bulls could look at Derrick Jones Jr. playing the power forward minutes. This tweet was a few days old. He hasn't really been in the rotation, but he played really solid last night versus the Celtics. He was also talking about a possible Thad Young trade possibility since he's not really playing with the Spurs. I made a video a couple days talking about that whole situation. Definitely check out that video. But my bad, the Chicago Bulls can't trade for Thaddeus Young this season because of CBA rules. There is some free agents that Mark listed that the Chicago Bulls could be interested in signing. He said some available free agents are Mike Scott, James Ennis, Kenneth Faried, DeMarcus Cousins, and Jahlil Okafor. He did say the Chicago Bulls would have to cut someone to add a player. I've seen Bulls fans really want the Bulls to sign DeMarcus Cousins, honestly, for a year or so now. There was some talk about the Bulls possibly signing him in this past offseason as well. I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls did say cut Matt Thomas and sign one of these free agents. If I had to pick one, I feel like DeMarcus Cousins would be a great veteran off this Bulls bench. He's a good veteran. I still can't believe he's not on an NBA roster. He's a good shooter. He's gotten much better throughout his career. Solid defender, solid veteran, good rebounder. He just brings that tough and gritty, veteran presence off the Bulls bench. I would not be mad if the Bulls did sign him. Let me know below today's video if you guys want the Bulls to sign any of these free agents or possibly trade for someone. And Mark K covers the Bulls as well. He was talking about this whole situation, and he said the Bulls absolutely need to make a trade at some point to address the lack of shooting on the bench. And I don't really understand that. I believe Coby White is coming back in a few weeks. I believe he's going to be deadly off the Bulls bench. But he did say waive Matt Thomas and bring in another big. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did bring back Stanley Johnson as well. If the Bulls do need some more size because of the whole Patrick Williams injury. Definitely let me know below today's video if you guys want the Bulls to maybe re-sign Stanley Johnson or sign any free agents on the market. And this article came out just the other day talking about a potential trade to help out the Chicago Bulls and pretty much just be Patrick Williams' replacement for a few months. ESPN put out this article suggesting how the Chicago Bulls should package Derrick Jones Jr. and sharpshooter Matt Thomas in a deal with the Houston Rockets. You know, this article is a few days old. He did say Derrick Jones really hasn't been in the Chicago Bulls rotation. And, you know, if Derrick Jones continues to play like he did last night versus the Celtics, I think the Bulls should keep him. But ESPN did say if Jones can't really find a spot in the Bulls rotation, his $9.7 million salary on an expiring contract could make him an attractive trade candidate. And he listed, for example, sending Jones and Matt Thomas, whose salary is non-guaranteed, to the Houston Rockets for DJ Augustin and Danuel House Jr., and that trade would give Chicago another forward who plays bigger than his size and House without affecting either team's salary cap situation that much. You know, let me know below today's video if you guys would do that trade. As of right now, I wouldn't. I really like what I saw out of Derrick Jones Jr. yesterday versus the Celtics. But nonetheless, say the Bulls even look into this. You know, I know it's just a suggestion or whatever, but it's always fun to talk about potential trades. You know, he hasn't really been playing for the Houston Rockets for this past season, so it wouldn't surprise me if they did trade him or cut him or buy him out later in the season. But for his career, he's played 165 games, and he's played about 26 minutes a night. He put up 9 points per game while shooting 43% from the field, and he shot about 36% from 3. He also averaged 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and almost a block a game as well. As of right now, I wouldn't do this trade. It's not a terrible option. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls just I'd say stuck with what they have and continue to just play Javonte Green and Derrick Jones Jr. at the 4 and 3. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching today's video. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about last night's game, all these free agent rumors, you know, the Bulls may be trading for a Patrick Williams replacement for this season. Nonetheless, thank you guys for all the love on the past few videos and the channel. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.